This is episode 328, and let's talk about having an organic marketing plan. And you can try my 3-month plan with me. Welcome to the Content Queen podcast. I'm your host, Mariah, entrepreneur, storyteller, digital nomad, creative content bootcamp, and founder of Content Queen with over 10 years experience in marketing. This podcast is here to help you create your perfect content marketing or organic marketing plan, blending storytelling and strategy. So let's get into it. Hello, gang. Okay, this is a solo episode and we are not filming in our usual solo episode style because I thought we'd try something cool this week. As you know, I do loads of workshops around Australia in our bus, Narangita, and I thought it would be cool to showcase a little snippet of my workshop, one that I did recently on the 3 pillars of a marketing plan, and the first one being organic. And the whole goal of this was to show the people that were in the workshop that organic marketing is more than just social media, the avenues that they could take, and then getting them thinking a little bit outside the box in how they could market their business. And then the goal was they would choose something to implement for 3 months. So I thought I would share that snippet of that part of the workshop. It's pretty short, it doesn't go for too long, but I just wanted to share a little bit more about what I teach in my workshops, but also I think it's really helpful and very practical and very actionable. I find this is what we need now. We don't need these big elaborate plans yet if we haven't got something consistent. Someone in my membership just said to me, I'm not posting, what could I do? And I said, okay, first, how can we help you? And I said, let's just take it back. How much can you post realistically? Strip it back, commit to that, and then grow and evolve from there. Sometimes that's what we need. I've really struggled to get back into my routine, my morning routine of journaling and reading, because we've been on the road, off the road. Right now I'm house sitting for my brother. So things have been so chaotic that's the first thing to go, right? And I went to a really awesome lunch for one of my clients on Friday, and they had a burnout coach come and speak, mindset coach come and speak. And she just talked about those little tiny things. And if you can't completely do what you want, you can't get to the Pilates, you can't journal full, what's a downsize that you could do? So think about that with your marketing as well. If things are really stressful and hectic, how can you downsize? But then also, how can you then work in the back end on the plans and the systems that will help you moving forward? So you will see a little bit of insight into my workshop, but one of the things that I really want you to encourage you to do is, if you haven't invested a little bit more time and energy into your organic marketing plan, come and join me in bootcamp. We're starting July 7th with our first 10 a.m. call. Now, unlike normal bootcamps, this one's going to work a little differently. I want to try something new. Basically, it's 6 weeks, and I used to do a call every second week. Now I'm going to do 6 calls, and every week someone is going to be working on their strategy with me. So if you can't join every call, that's fine. If it ends up being me and that one person, that's also okay. But all you really need to do is commit to that one call with me, and then you can do the modules in your own time. And I thought that's a really good way for you to get some one-on-one time with me without the price of a one-on-one strategy. So if you really need help and support, and you've been thinking about where to invest your marketing dollars, come and do bootcamp starting July 7th. As I said, we have a call every week. You can join other people's calls and get ideas as well and see how I work with other industries. But it's a really great way for you to get access to how I do strategy and get this organic marketing plan that you can try for 3 months. So let's check out my time at the workshop. All right, so the 3 pillars being organic marketing, paid marketing, and collaborations. So the first one being organic marketing. So organic marketing is basically anything you do without having to physically put dollars behind it. So if we think social media, we think blogs, we think podcasting, etc. I've got an extensive list. But this is a good way to look at it because it's not just social media. Organic is not just being on socials. There's so many levers that we can pull when it comes to organic. So yeah, it can be community building, could be speaking gigs, could be public relations. PR sometimes can be its own entity, but for the sake of this, we'll look at YouTube. Does everyone have a Google My Business profile? Anyone that has a physical location? Yeah, great. Very, very important to have a Google My Business, because obviously when people are searching for things, you want to come up in the maps, or you want to come up. The good thing about Google My Business is a profile that you want to try and generate reviews for as well if you're not. So basically, if you have a physical location, it's important to have a Google My Business, because if someone's saying lawyer near me, for example,
and they're in your local area, you can shop. Or if they're even Googling your name, it's like a panel that comes up on the side of Google, tells them what business you run, how many reviews you might have. So basically, the importance of Google My Business is you want to show up when someone is searching for your service. And if you are actively encouraging Google reviews, it is extremely helpful for continuing to show up, because Google sees you as a trusted source. So if you are ever asking for testimonials from clients, I've just started sending my Google review page, because it's public, it's forward facing, and you can copy and paste those reviews and pop them on your website if you like. But I find it's the most trusted place to get reviews. Every time I work with someone, I send them the Google review, even if I do a free session, because I think it's important to try and get those. I have a client that has 2,000 Google reviews, and yeah, it's that amplification and momentum that builds from having something like that. So if you can build it into your process, it just allows you to continue to get that reach. So yes, social media, of course, is key. We always think, oh yeah, social media allows us to reach loads of people, but there's other things like blogging, and then we've got SEO, so how you show up on Google, and now we've got GEO, which is AI. So is AI recommending you? So that comes through, our website. If you've got a website, keeping that website up to date, using really simple language in your social media content. So say, for example, you might use jargon. I mean, I know that happens in marketing, it can happen in finance. Try and simplify everything. So if someone was researching it, now with social media, it does come up in Google. So if someone's searching something and you happen to do a social media post on it, it will come up. And now we've got things like ChatGPT. They're searching YouTube, LinkedIn, Reddit to find sources to give to you. So, and then we've got, does anyone do email marketing? Does anyone have a database that they engage in? Yeah, great. Yep, amazing. So we have email marketing, which means you have a list of clients that you can email at any time, share what you're up to, what you're doing. It's not just emailing through your Gmail or your Outlook. It's a specific platform that you can continue to communicate. Podcasting, Pinterest, networking being one of them, coming to things like this, going to business events, etc. And then we have YouTube, community building, speaking gigs. So that's why I want you to try and think a little outside the box around what organic channels could we start focusing on. Now, when it comes to social media, obviously we know there is Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, etc. A lot of the times we do try and repurpose across a lot of them to get more money from our time and energy. But I want to spend a little bit of time. So what is one organic channel that you want to intentionally focus on for the next 3 months? So have a think about it. I mean, you can discuss amongst you. Why that channel? Does my audience spend time there? Does it suit my strengths? Because I'm a big believer in there is no point you being on a channel if you don't think it is a strength of yours. So yes, people say be on video, show up on video, but if you don't feel natural, you don't feel authentic, it's just the audience is going to know. They're going to be like, they don't want to be here, so I'm just going to keep scrolling. I'm a big believer, there's no point doing something if it's not going to stop the scroll on social media, it's not going to captivate people. And then does it suit my capacity? There might not be any point starting a TikTok because it does take time, it does take work. So it's not something you can just throw up and exit the app. Do I have the capacity to do it? So what is one channel that you could try for the next 3 months? And also you can ask yourself, what do you currently use? What's working and what's not currently working? Like there's extensive amount of platforms, but just think anything where you are not putting actual dollars behind. This is just organic marketing. So yeah, social media, blogging, SEO can be like optimizing your website to make sure it's, you're getting all these keywords that people would be searching. Definitely. So for example, you probably wouldn't see a Gen Z on Facebook. So yes, it is. In saying that though, what I always try and look at is like, okay, who is my demographic that I am trying to reach? And then you can repurpose across. So just if you have done content for Instagram, at a click of a button, you can put it on another platform. Why wouldn't you amplify it? Because you're spending time on one piece of content, why wouldn't you put it somewhere else? Because we also don't know that. Yes, statistically we can go, not a lot of Gen Z, but it doesn't mean they're not. You know what I mean? So it's not a hard rule. No, there are no 20-year-olds on Facebook at all, because there are some. But I think in terms of if you are going to spend energy trying to target, say, a younger demographic, you would choose those channels and try and choose that language and choose that type of content that they would consume, and then repurpose it and see how it translates on other channels. Of course, if we had a whole marketing team, we'd have different content for different channels and optimize, but we just don't. And even now, big companies don't have the capacity to do that or the resources. So
TikTok is alongside Facebook and Instagram. I can't dance.
You don't have to dance. So let's stop the myth of TikTok right now. It is not a dancing app. It is not an app for 10-year-olds. It started as an app in China where dancing and trends were just the popular thing that they did on there. It is now one of the #1 growth channels for businesses. Yeah. And it doesn't mean, as I said, keep in mind, just because I'm saying it's a good channel, doesn't mean it's going to work for a lawyer. Doesn't mean it's going to work. Like, you have to think that this is a channel where we really think we're going to reach our audience. For example, the hospitality business that I work with, everything popped off on TikTok. We had millions of views on our videos, like one fish and chip grilled versus fried. 1.1 million views on one video. They tripled their revenue over the Christmas period, and now Facebook is their biggest growth channel, but I do a TikTok approach first. So in saying that, I always go, what will work on TikTok already? Because whatever works on Facebook and Instagram does not translate on TikTok. Your carousels, your static images doesn't work as well. Whereas if I create a really engaging video that works on TikTok, it'll 9 times out of 10 work on Instagram and Facebook. Can I give you some ideas of stuff that really worked well?
I've already got one. I'm going to learn to dance.
You can. It's all about finding the style that suits the business. So yeah, some businesses do dance and it does work. But what worked really well for us, when petrol prices went up, we showed them how to get from Brisbane on the bus. It's 50-cent travel in Queensland. And we had so many posts, comments, tags, etc. So basically we just gave them a rundown on get on this train to go to here and get the bus to here, and for $20.50 you can have a day out and a lunch, which when petrol prices skyrocketed, that was so comforting. And it was during school holidays. So during the school holidays at the fish and chip shop, they were a little bit concerned because petrol prices went up, everyone had cancelled their holidays, and the weather was terrible because it's a weather-based business. And I think they were only $300 short on their last year. So, and there was so many comments like, this is great marketing. So it's, when you are marketing something like hospitality, it's everything to do with your audience and nothing to do with you, but it is to do with what you give. So something on TikTok that works well is, what is the experience like? What does it look like when I get there? And how can you market something that is a hidden gem? I didn't know it existed. So trying to find those angles, and yes, if you are going to try TikTok, it is very video heavy. Yeah, oh, absolutely. But in saying that, it's all about finding the process that works. So what we do is we'll go up there like every few months and just do all the staff know we're filming that day. We have a plan on what we're going to film, and that lasts us like 6 months. Like, we can't go up to Queensland every week to get content. I mean, I don't mind the free fish and chips, but like, it's just not, it's not viable. But that's why having that strategy is really important. If you downloaded that, if you got the link for that, because you'll create a plan, and in there is creating your posting plan, and then you can start batching your content. And in editing, in saying that, like, some people just throw up a video they've just filmed and put up there, maybe chopped the edges and put some music on, and they can work really well. So try not to overthink what you're putting out there, and then just see what gets traction. Absolutely. And it's just about the environment that you want to create, and like having a think about, what do we want to be known for? What is the experience we want people to feel? And how can we replicate that through social media? But yeah, with your Instagram, it's probably not, your Facebook will be getting more results because Instagram now is very visual, like video. Especially if you want to reach people that aren't following you, video is the best way to do it, because how the algorithm works is it'll take visuals and just send it to your followers, and it'll take video and it'll push it out further. Yeah. No, it's not the same company. Yeah, because Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, TikTok separate. That's when we can start to use things like schedulers. They're either inexpensive or free. It's one called Metrical that's free. And you can pop your content in there and then it can push it out to different places. In saying that though, the thing that I don't love about them is with Instagram and TikTok is they do really like you to use the platform to create and edit and do all the things in it. So usually I just have like a time at 6 p.m. Everything's already in there, everything's already set up, and then I just hit live, or you can schedule through the platform. So you could just have it, you know, spend one day a week setting it all up. Just their algorithms are different, but you do have more potential. And in saying that, like I said before, not everyone needs to go viral. Potentially wine bar, yes, you want to get those impressions. So with the fish and chip shop, and I did a video on it, like we had across last year, I think it was like 5 million impressions. And that's not the goal for everybody, but for them, yes, we need to reach more people. So I don't think viral is ever going to save someone's business, but for some businesses, the goal is you want to reach more people. For me, absolutely not. I could not, I struggle to keep up with what I've got. Like I don't need to have that viral moment. So every business is very different. Yeah, not really. Mainly how the algorithm, hashtags is mainly just the keyword so that it knows where to send people. So it knows the topic, but now how the algorithm works is what you're saying in the video, what's being displayed in the video, like it has the smarts to be able to do that, whereas 5 years ago, hashtags was how it categorized your content. But now how it works is basically it'll push it out to a small audience. If they engage with it, it'll push it out to a bigger audience. If they and then it just spiral. And I've even had a video on TikTok in April that I posted of 2023. Yeah, I had some comments and views, and then December I just started getting all these notifications. It went viral 6 months later, which doesn't happen on an Instagram or a Facebook. So I think the algorithm is a little more refreshing for people. It's a little bit more in the favor of the creator, not the, because how TikTok know they're nothing without their creators. So that's why. And this is what can be really crazy, because there'll be like earthquake in Japan and everyone freaks out and then they realize it's been posted like 3 weeks ago.
That's right.
So you always got to look at the date.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more what we call evergreen. So evergreen means if you had a blog, you created a blog 3 years ago, it's always going to be there. People can always find it if they Google that keyword and it comes up. Whereas Instagram and Facebook, it's just kind of like push it out and after a few hours, never to be seen again. With TikTok, you do get a lot for the content that you put out there, and actually like the first hour is not critical. Whereas on your Instagram and your Facebook, it's like, LinkedIn. Actually, LinkedIn changed their algorithm slightly. I do find I'm getting a lot of older stuff now, which is good. Yeah. So is anyone going to try something different that they're not already doing? Or are you happy with what you're using in the organic space? Yeah, so trying to think outside the box of things. It's not always, this is the linear path of social media, etc. Like me doing these workshops has helped my visibility a lot. And it's how, and also what I do is I film it, so I get the content and then I put it on social media. So you create this sort of cycle of keeping using things. So you've got a new job. You are now Insta boyfriend. Mitch can give you the tips.
I'll be in touch.
So love that. Doesn't always have to be social media. It doesn't always have to be something online as well. It can be, I saw when I was in Ellie Beach, the Pilates studio that I went to over Easter, they did this, Pilates on the grass event. And it was free for members or $20 for anyone outside of that. And then she launched off the back of it an Easter egg hunt that included some unlimited Pilates memberships in there. So people had to buy them, but she had clue. I didn't follow it because then I was leaving. But it looked really something different, like an event turning into a bit of a marketing campaign. Yeah, again, I think it all does come down to not just your business goals, but also your personality. You are the founder of your business. if that's not authentic to you, why would you do it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Because
sometimes like it's
I get
find
it.
yourself looking at all these videos and maybe I should be doing those things, you know.
Yeah, you can use inspiration, but I think I totally feel I'm in a very trendy space of social media and marketing, and when Instagram Reels came out, all the marketers jumped on Instagram Reels and they're like, I'm an Instagram Reel coach and I can make your Reels go viral. And of course they did. They're doing Reels on Instagram Reels. Like, of course it's going to get traction. And I was like, oh, should I go down that path? And no, I stayed in my lane, and now everyone's talking strategy. I'm like, now who's trendy? Didn't even mean it. But no, you got to do what's authentic to you. Even the AI space, like everyone's talking about social media and AI, and I'm like, I'm exhausted by it. I've done a couple podcasts on it with my authentic take on it. But apart from that, I'm just like, no, I just don't. It's not authentic to me. I don't want to spend hours learning AI. My coach just gave me a session yesterday, and I was like, now I've got to implement it. I don't want to do it. Like, I use it, but to optimize it and do all the great things that it does. And I don't want to teach someone that. Like, that to me gives me anxiety. So you have to do things that are authentic to you, for sure. Yeah. So are we trying TikTok or what? What are you thinking? Yeah, I do recommend doing that if you are going to try something different. Consume a little bit. Like, you don't have to become wildly obsessed like me. Like, I have an absolute deep obsession with TikTok. It's a little bit unhealthy. But just get a feel for what people post on there. There was actually a girl in Melbourne that she started a wine bar, and she actually documented the whole process from start to finish. So when she'd opened it, she had a line out the door. Obviously, that approach doesn't work for everyone, but I took on that built-in public, they call it, approach for a client that built a recovery space in Shell Harbour in New South Wales. So we took them like, what paint colour should we use, what this, and we had founding members from the day the doors open. So yeah, so you could do that with, we're going to launch a new menu, a new this, you know, bring the people along the journey. But there is a session at the end you can book with me, so please do that, because I've got a gazillion ideas for you guys. Anyone else going to try something different? Yep. Okay, we'll move on.
I'm going to download TikTok.
Great. So if I'm listening to that segment of my workshop, is there something you want to try for 3 months? Is there something outside the box that you want to try? Maybe you need a little bit more support, or you want to build the strategy around it. Again, as I said before, come and join me in bootcamp. If you're listening to this and there is, after the date of July 7th, 2026, you can still join, because I can add you on the end. I am only taking on 6 people, so I'll let you know if it's sold out. I'll probably start another live round. That is one thing I forgot to say at the start. It is only 6 people because it's 6 weeks, and I can't do more than one. So then I'll just probably roll into another one if it's already sold out, and I will let you know. I could probably just extend the week too. So if you're listening to this outside of July 7th, send me a message. I can let you know when the next live round is going to be, if I'm planning on opening up another one. And yeah, basically every 6 people, I will run a new one. So yeah, if you're listening to this outside, go to the link in the show notes, check it out. There might already be a live date picked, or you can just send me an email, information at Content Queen Mariah, and I can let you know when the next one is on. You can reply to the email if you're on my mailing list. They go out every Saturday, so you'll see an email then and you can hit reply. But be a content queen or king, and remember that developing your strategy and story develops your business. Thank you so much for joining me today, and please don't forget to share this with all your business and entrepreneurial friends. You can do this by adding it to your Insta stories and tagging me at Content Queen Mariah, or just tell them about it. If you do rate and review, you may have seen we've had lots of amazing guests on. I have been busy doing podcast interviews because I'm getting lots of pitches. So we have reached 30,000 downloads of this podcast, which is incredible. I'm so excited. I haven't even had time to digest and celebrate that. It's because we're getting into the charts, people are seeing us, they're listening to it more, and then other business owners that have expertise are seeing this and they're reaching out to me. So if you love the caliber of content that we're having, please continue to rate and review if you haven't done so already. And yeah, if you come over and follow me on Instagram, you can send me a message on what you thought, if there's any episodes you want me to do in the future, or if you want to learn more about bootcamp or how I can support you, please do TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm always there, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.